What is it?
Hello, welcome to The Essential Gamer. You're watching What Is It with me, Lee, and what it is Never Yield, a solo dev project, and you know I love a solo dev project, from a chap called Aerial Knight, who has managed to make, well, it's an auto runner for the new age. And look, okay, I know what you're thinking straight away. Auto runner, you're thinking of Temple Runner on your mobile or something like that, and whilst this isn't a million miles away from that, it is a vast improvement over gumping into the distance that we may be used to. So what we have is a fairly simplistic control style, 4 controls, up, down, left, right, and these give you a low jump, a high jump, a slide, and a dash. Very much the free runner style animations put into these things, with various colour-coded obstacles for you to press the corresponding button to. Well, that's fairly simple, you may think, but yes, but we also have a completely batshit story that makes absolutely no sense. Well, you can find some sense in there if you really want it to, but let's face it, it's a guy with a metal leg and another guy with a metal leg and some Super Saiyan stuff going on with lots of explosions. That is essentially the entire story. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But I can see where some people may be put off of an auto runner, worrying that it's not too difficult. You would be wrong, because Never Yield is punishing at its very worst and bloody infuriating at its very best. Like I said, there's a bit of a story in there. There's a bit of sort of backstory, but where's the difficulty, you may be asking? Come on now, you got four controls. Where's the I'll tell you where it is. Not only is it in learning the different obstacle types and the corresponding button to colour ratio, but it also likes to add in a lot of variation. There is also a devilishly evil amount of obstacles to learn the sort of trajectory of, as well as the helpful little timer in the bottom corner there, which likes to charm you and think you're doing well, and then it goes, "Ha! Think you're doing well, do you, mate? No, you're doing fucking shit, mate. That's what you're doing." And that's what it continuously told me, as I challenged myself to get better and better and faster through the various levels. I mean, there was boss levels, there was subversion of expectation in the angles that I was given. There's lots of camera angle changes that just completely throw off your depth perception and ruin your run. And this is a speedrunner's dream, this game, as you're taking on all the variant bosses and all the other stuff. Lots to like in an auto runner that I didn't think I was going to. One of the things I liked the very, very most, I may add, was 100% the soundtrack. Oh, listen to this. Yeah! Now we're talking. Perfect. If there's one thing I like, it's a good soundtrack. As you know from my previous What Is It's, when a soundtrack is good, the game is set up on the right foot for me. And then you have all the nuance of the details, like the variance of the obstacle that you are up against, from whether it just be a table, some sort of closed door, to a moving van, to flying rockets, to crashing cars, to there's a lot of difference. It's not just the same thing. You will get a lot of the same assets being thrown at you, of course you will. It's a game made in Unity, and that's how this would work, but you also have a lot of variance in the levels themselves. So some levels give you different routes to take, different areas that you will access depending on which choice you make, whether you go up or down, left or right, that sort of thing. There's bonus levels which completely subvert what you think you're going to be doing, because first you think it's just a case of, oh, I've got no audio or visual help as to what's coming next, and it flips it on its head and completely ruins that particular part of the run. All these sort of these changes of perspective really help to mess with you. And you do get a little bit of help. You get a slightly on-screen, off-screen prompt, colour-coded, depending on what the next obstacle is. So each colour represents a button to press or a direction to press. And this is the game trying to help you, because on the 3 level settings, you've got easy, medium and hard. Easy gives you a really nice, long slow-mo just before an obstacle, so that you can get your fingers in the right place to actually avoid said obstacle. But as you ramp up the difficulty, this gets smaller and smaller until you get to insane, where basically you're actually travelling faster in that mode than any of the others, with no slow-mo whatsoever. that's where you're going to start pulling your hair out, and that's where you're going to start getting a little bit stressed with everything that's happening. But with all that said, I really enjoyed the difficulty spike.
Yeah, boy.
It's quite satisfying. Content wise, you get 13 levels, all that come with their own cutscene, and these levels change in their design with the difficulty level that you choose. The higher the difficulty, the more obstacles and things like that, for example. And you get the opportunity to do bonus levels by collecting coins that are hidden away within each level. You can unlock outfits, and these outfits, they're sort of rewards for completing certain levels on certain difficulties and make your guy look real cool while you're playing through it. I think there's a nice bit of replayability here. I mean, like I said, the soundtrack alone is worth the sort of price of admittance, just so you can listen to the excellent tunes that are banging out as you're running face first into various objects. But the replayability is all there for yourself. If you can pick it up quite quickly, you'll then start to challenge yourself by trying to get faster and faster times in each run. I mean, you could probably do the entire game sub 5 minutes if you were that good at running each level. And I really found myself challenging just the clock over everything else. I got onto insane difficulty, and at that point I was simply just looking at that clock, wanting it to go away. Insane is really difficult. It changes the game entirely. It makes it feel like normal mode or easy mode is simply just the tutorial. And if you can nail this difficulty, you really do feel like a world-class free runner. But I guarantee you there will be points when, well, you just won't. So Never Yield is an excellent project coming from solo dev Aerial Knight. It is available on all platforms, and I know it's an auto runner. I know it's not the the most broad and expansive open world that you've ever played, anything like that, but it is an enjoyable sort of pick up and put down kind of game is what I'd call it. And if you want to waste some time, this is definitely one of the better ways that you could waste that time. As always, if this video has been any good to you, please do like and subscribe. You can always hit the bell, do the thumbs up, buttons, press bells, all that shit. Please do that stuff because it helps the channel. If this video wasn't any good to you, please tell me why in the comments. I will go running out of a window doing forward flips and shit.